Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna do more runs on tower floor 110, but before we start don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So as you can see we have Francis, and Rose, and Kurenai over here, and the runs are gonna be pretty simple for the most part. These characters are kind of fragile if you don't do a proper build, so be careful, and you do want to make sure that you have good awakenings on the defensive skills, you know? So, first of all, we have Francis, which is going to be using the SR weapon that gives her a critical damage, because, I mean, that's just busted. And if you have Revolting Bat, that's a good option too, just so that you know. Then, we're using critical Magatemes. As usual, we're going to be using critical Magatemes with attack Magatemes, always perfect critical. And in most cases, it's going to be water. I think all of them use water, even though I have some range attacks, but that's what we're going to be using. So, weapons 5 out of 5 and plus 13, both of them. Then, Grenade, Demon Render, and Flame Flickle. Demon Render, just to heal, very important, super useful. And Flame Flickle you can change for whichever skill that you like. If you want to use Onigoroshi so that you get tipsy, that's okay. If you want to use Ricochet because you're getting a lot of heals, that's also okay. The option of using Raging Shoot, and it's fine too. This skill is impossible to use, don't use it. And you could even use the basic enhancer. Whatever you want on the third slot is fine. Just Demon Render or Grenade are the imported skills. Then, as you can see, we're going super offensive here. So, New Year Felicia on the main so that we get the damage reduction whenever we heal, and the huge damage increase on the passives. Then, Kirara to get a huge damage increase, and also a regen effect, which is going to proc Felicia's defense damage reduction. Yeah. Then, Bride and Rose to help out with crit consistency and increase damage of the crits, because we have an SR weapon over here. Even so, we have a pretty good critical rate, so it's not a problem. Stats of the customs, stat training, and now let's do a couple runs, starting with Francis. Pretty simple for the most part. You just have to properly use Grenade, and then you will win. Like this, yeah. The enemies just get together naturally, so it's not that difficult. Well, that's it. Now I'm going to position myself properly next to Murasaki, and I use my skill, dealing tremendous amounts of damage. And yeah, the enemy is not going to win. It is just very simple. Thanks to the regen, I'm going to constantly have damage reduction, and thanks to the leader skill, the formation, the formation, which I haven't mentioned on previous videos, but it is pretty useful. I have the name of Fuma, which is going to reduce damage taken from bosses, and the bosses are the important enemies here, so it is not an issue. Okay, well, that didn't work, but as you can see, it doesn't matter, because against one enemy, as long as they don't delete me... my god, why? What happened with my AoE? It's just too small. Well, let's see. Just one hit, like this, and I also use my active to heal even more. And technically, I want to time my skills properly and I dodge properly so that I don't get hit. But it is pretty easy for the most part, thanks to the different sources of HP recovery. I have the active of the supporter, I have my skill, and I also have the passive regen. So I'm not going to have issues with HP recovery for the most part. If you don't have enough damage reduction, yeah, that might be an issue. Remember, you're on floor 110, so obviously you want very competent awakening skills for the most part. Now, let's do the ultimate, and I'm going to wait for the whole animation so that I can use my skill again. Nice. I just do this and done. So, Nagi, one of the most difficult bosses on this particular stage. But as long as I hit properly, she's pretty squishy. But you have to to have a ton of damage to explode that weakness. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There. I just going to heal and heal even more. And done. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, healing, healing. Excellent. There. Excellent. So I eliminate part of the enemies. Wow, the damage from grenade is amazing against the mobs. I mean, it's not going to delete the bosses in one hit, but it does deal a substantial amount of damage. There, perfect. Nice, nice, nice. Just a couple hits, and I just have to do grenade. Yes, yes, nice. A couple basics, and yeah, it glitched. Oh my god. Oh my god. Too many mines over here. Okay, okay, I'll do this. Just to eliminate the mines, and done. You see? That's a ton of bars, a ton of damage. Ouch. Ouch. Just this. Perfect. Nice. And I'm going to use the ultimate just to finish. Done. Pretty simple for the most part. I mean, Francis does have a good amount of healing. And I'm not using Tipsy. Tipsy also heals. So if you have Revolting Bat, that's going to be even more healing. Keep that in mind. But it's not worth using the Onigoroshi, if you're thinking about it. Because manually having to get Tipsy stacks with one skill, it is not the most proficient thing to do. Now, let's go with the next one, which is going to be Anaros. Anaros is gonna go red because red is kind of the most oppressive build that she has. She deals an insane amount of damage. So, critical mega damage with the butterfly weapon, whatever weapon, both 5 out of 5 and plus 15, whatever mega damage on the sub slot. Devour, because we need the healing. Even though the stun isn't that impressive, just the fact that this skill heals is more than enough to justify using it. Fang Strike to get above, that also deals damage. Because the action bound, in comparison, it's going to give me critical rate, which I don't need. And it also gives damage, sure. But I'm not attacking at the same time. I rather attack at the same time. Then we have Rymax just to delete everything. With 2 or 3 Rymax, the enemies are going to be gone, even the bosses. So, we have over here Spinel to increase damage and have utility, Barretta, and Fuyutsuki. If you want to change Spinel for something else, honestly, you can go with whatever you want. You could go with Fervor, just to increase your damage a little bit and have a small invincibility. You could go with Yukina, which pairs very well with Fuyutsuki, because you're gonna gain stacks of Fuyutsuki by using the active and doing the insta kill. You could equip Susune. Susune? No, you cannot use Susune, or at least not here with this weapon, because we don't debuff the enemy. You could use, what else? It's good enough. Ah, yeah, of course, Spica. You could use Spica for the invincibility. So yeah, those are some options. Now, let's do another run. This is gonna be way faster than before. I mean, she's just amazing to deal with waves of enemies on red. Oh, it didn't explode. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Done. Perfect. Yeah, I don't wanna deal with that. It's just easier to let it self-destruct. So a couple hits, a dash attack, and then Rimax. Then we use the skill and we try to position ourselves right, and done. And I'm not even doing this properly. I could try to abuse the weapon, but I would need to pay attention to the position of the enemy, to my baits and the stacks, so that I deal the most damage with Rimax, but I don't want to be super picky about it. Done. And between waves, it's super easy to just use Devour once again and heal my HP. Honestly, it is a pretty good skill, even on red. Done. And nice. Perfect. So I just do this, and I heal, and I stop the enemies, and I do Rimax. Oh god, that was bad. And I use the ultimate. Fang Strike, Rimax. Oops, no. Well, still I deal a ton of damage. Nice, perfect. That was way faster than before, as you noticed. And it's because the red build for this character is extremely aggressive. At the same time, it is risky, but thanks to Devour, it compensates the risk. You can just heal. And now I have to try and do a couple stacks, and then Rimax there. And I stop everyone on their tracks and Devour. Just Rimax, yeah. That huge amount of damage is pretty useful. Devour. Dash attack, Rimax. And I just Devour again. Oh no! It didn't hit. Doesn't matter, I still have enough HP. And done. Yeah, extremely easy. Now, for Kurenai, I could go with green. Probably. I didn't test it, but I don't wanna go with green, and I'm gonna show you why in a moment. So, Howling Wind is a single target attack. Of course, it can hit multiple enemies if they are all gathered together, but that would take more time to deal with this stage. So rather than going green, I'm gonna go blue. With blue, I'm gonna use Kamitachi, just cause, but this skill you can change for whatever you want. Storm Zone and Storm Fang to have good AoEs and just deal with the enemy. Also, a defense reduction is gonna be pretty useful on the damage department. So let's check the build. No. Yes, this one. So we are using Grindhouse Special because critical damage busted. And the active we're not gonna use. It's not necessary. We have critical damage increase Magatamas, water, fire, red Magatamas on the subslot with whatever weapon, 5 out of 5 plus 15, both of them. No, wait, this one is 4 out of 5. Now that I think about it, I already showed you the skills. As for the supporters, we are using Massacre Kurenai because we don't have ways to heal ourselves on blue. That's why we use this one. Yeah, I could use the a counter on the active, but no, I'm not using that. Then we have Bright and Rose because crits, and the Founding Tree to be a little bit tankier while increasing damage. If you don't have the Founding Tree, there's another very good option in the form of Heavy Cup, but I have this 4 out of 5, so I'm not using that. And then we're gonna be using, oh, by the way, you can equip on this last slot any other damage increase if you're bulky enough, if you have good enchantment level, good S levels, and good awakening skills, because Massacre Kurenai is going to make you extremely tanky. So you might as well go for full damage. Stats of the customs, stat training, and now let's finish with this stage. First of all, we want to start with the active, and now we use the skills together. In conjunction, you see, they eliminated everything. They are busted. Yeah, I mean, Kurenai can deal devastating damage on any color, honestly, with this weapon. The other weapons, I mean, most of her weapons are fun to use and they do have a niche and they are pretty useful, but I'll admit that the one that deals the most damage is this one, Grindhouse Special, as long as you're able to crit. And in VR, the one that deals the most damage is UV, I don't remember the name, but the one that gives you penetration on your leader skill, on your passive. It is more a matter of super armor than anything, and the fact that we don't crit, that's also an issue that prevents this weapon to be useful on VR. So we just do this and this, and the enemy is gonna be done. It would also be kind of viable to use the active of it's not Freykugel, Dainsleif. Yeah, that's the name, I think. The limited pack weapon. It is also viable to use that because of the fact that there are many mobs, but it won't be that useful against the boss, so we don't want that. Okay, I just do this and done, and I deal more damage, and I use this and Kami. I did the combo wrong. I could have done more damage, way more damage to the enemy, and just one-shot it. Like last time I tested this, I one-shot the enemy. I one-shot, what's the name? Momochinagi. Very easily. It was impressive, honestly. So, yeah. This build is strong. I love this supporter. It just enables you to be able to play defensively and offensively at the same time. You become a tank with a ton of damage. Okay, I'm gonna do the supporter one more time because I can in this scenario. And I just do this and this. And that allows me to deal with most of the enemies. Done, and Kamitachi. There we go. And I already have the almost all the particles that I need. And I'm gonna ultimate with the active. Let's see if I manage to ulti. Yeah, I managed to ulti with the active to deal massive amounts of damage. And done. Pretty good. Honestly, this is one of the best seasonal sets that they have released so far. The Grindhouse Special and Massacre Kurenai are just amazing, both the supporter and the weapon. Nowadays they release usually good things, but not always are they extremely busted, both of them. I mean, Rin's case is also pretty good, just so that you know. So, well, anyway, what do you think about these builds? Do you find it useful? Do you use other builds? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!